Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Jim. This is Ricky.
Ricky.
And in this video we're going to talk about the difference between an authority site and a niche site, which one we think is probably best to be working on, especially for your first site, how much income really you can expect to earn from both, etc. So we're going to do kind of a Mac versus PC thing. I am going to be talking about authority sites and trying to convince you to to do an authority site, and Ricky's going to take the niche site.
That's right.
So why should we do a niche site?
Well, first of all, niche sites can be extremely passive. You create some content and that's it. You're not a whole lot more to it than that. You can build up a site, put several articles on it, monetize it, and then mostly just kind of let it sit. And it's just going to generate income forever. You can move on to something else.
Yeah, in terms of passive income, the niche site is much more passive. But on an authority site, you also have major advantages as well. And one advantage you have on an authority site is you can build info products much better than you can on a niche site. So let's say I have a website about home craft or home projects you can do, like home improvement stuff. If I'm an authority site, people come to that website with a certain expectation and trust for you and the type of information you would put out. If you go to Bob's blog, you don't know what to expect. You're going to be afraid to put a credit card in that website. You don't know the quality of information to expect. And so it's a lot harder to sell info products from a niche site than it is from an authority site. So +1 for authority.
Yeah, that's true. Now, the downside of info products or selling any of your own products on a website is you do have to deal with customer service. There's always going to be issues. Even if it's a digital info product that people are buying and you think, hey, they just download it and it's done, that is never going to be the case. Mm-hmm. People are going to email you and they're going to have questions, they're going to have problems, or hey, this didn't work, I never got the download link, whatever, and you have to deal with that. And so, again, it comes back to the passiveness of a niche site. And I kind of alluded to this a minute ago. Once you have kind of written some articles and you have this monetized site, you can move on to other things. So you can be a little bit ADD when it comes to, you can get distracted. You can have a short attention span.
Yep.
You could spend a month or 2 months hammering out a site and then move on to something else.
I love that.
Yeah.
I really love that because that's me. I get into a hobby, I'm like way crazy into it. Right now my thing is dirt bikes, and I watch all the YouTube videos on dirt bikes. I buy all the dirt bikes I can find. I do everything dirt bike. 6 months from now, I know I'm going to be on to fly fishing or whatever else is
He was like that 15 years ago. I mean, it was like lacrosse, then it was bow hunting, then it was, I mean, we were into all sorts of stuff.
Yep, we had lots of adventures together in high school. But that's a huge advantage because you don't have to say photography is my career. I'm doing this for 20 years. You can be like that, and that's totally cool. You start a new hobby, new niche site. And about the customer service, so this is my website, Improve Photography, and we have tons of information products, and I'm really grateful for what that site has become. I mean, it's awesome. It's provided for my family for a lot of years, but the customer service can't be understated. It is a lot of work. Even if you do your very best to make it as simple as possible, there will be customer service. And that may not seem like a big deal. Oh, I'll answer a couple emails. But like, what happens when you want to go on vacation for 10 days? If you have an authority site, you can't just leave for 10 days. People are going to dispute their credit card transactions and flip if they didn't get their product for 10 days. You can't just do that. So it's a very different lifestyle running an authority site compared to a niche site.
The same is true on our website, Income School, right? Mm-hmm. As a lot of you guys know, we have some information products there, and you know we sell a course. We provide email support, and that comes at a cost. Mm-hmm. Because even if the two of us are both on vacation, we still have to have our computer with us. We still have to be able to answer questions and consult for people, and it's great. It's a great website. Does a lot of good things, and we love it. But you really can't understate that.
Yep. All right. Another one that I like with having an authority site is you can target bigger keywords. So if you just start a tiny new blog about Teslas. So Tesla is the big cool new thing. Everybody's going crazy about it on the web, and you're like, hey, I'm going to make a website for people who want to know more about Teslas. Well, if you have an authority site, one of the big, Electrek or Teslarati, these big names in the Tesla world, then you can write an article about Model 3 review, and you could probably rank #1 on Google for it. But if you're a tiny little blog and you write your review of Model 3, you're going to get hammered because there are going to be hundreds of reviews of the Model 3. You don't stand a chance of ranking on Google for that. So you're going to have to target tiny keywords. Things like, does the Model 3 have a key fob? Things like, how does the self-presenting door on a Tesla Model S work? You're going to have to take tiny keywords, which you can have a lot of them. I mean, they're infinite, but you can't go after the big hits. You got to go after smaller articles because those other websites have way more domain authority. They stand a much better chance of ranking on Google for those topics.
There's the flip side, right? On niche websites where you can write about the really, really specific stuff. Whereas on an authority site, if you were to write an article about does the Model 3 have a key fob? A lot of people are there to read about the Model 3 in general, and that question is just going to annoy them.
Mm-hmm.
If you made a whole YouTube video about the key fob on a Model 3, like that would those people would hit unsubscribe because that's just not interesting to 99% of the people that are coming to that site or to that YouTube channel. Whereas on your site, if you are really, really specific, you can do that because, again, people aren't usually coming to your site to hang out and come back over and over again. They're coming to your site to get answers to these really specific questions. So those really niche down topics, they don't annoy people so much.
I see that right here on Improved Photography. Mm-hmm. I want to make videos like how to change the aperture on a Nikon D5300, how to change the ISO on a Nikon D5300, because people are going to search that, and I want to hit those all on YouTube. But if I spend a few days and make 40 different YouTube videos on those tiny little topics, and my YouTube channel now gets hammered with all those videos, well, I have 50,000 people subscribed to that. These videos only apply to 1% of them. And so they're all going to say, this channel's dumb, and they unsubscribe. So you can do different things with a passive site because you don't really care if people come back to your website. Your goal is to just make great content, put it out there, and let Google bring them in.
That's right.
One huge advantage of an authority site is you are less dependent on Google search traffic. Let's suppose that my Google traffic just got hammered. Something crazy happened and I had no Google traffic anymore. I still have a Facebook page with 650,000 people on it that I can advertise articles to. I still have an email list with 100,000 people on it that I can advertise those articles to. And I still have many tens of thousands of people who every day just wake up in the morning and they're like, I want my photography fix, improvephotography.com, enter. And you can't take that traffic away. That's the ultimate source of traffic, is when people just type in your website and hit enter. A passive site, you can really never expect to get any of that traffic. So, huge advantage there.
That's exactly true. But another kind of really cool thing about niche websites is that because we write this really specific content on niche websites, it can actually be harder for either larger niche websites or kind of the medium or smaller size authority sites to knock you off of the search results, the top search results, on those really, really specific keywords. So, if I have a little niche photography website and I make a YouTube video or I write an article about how to change the ISO on I'm not a photographer. So
yeah, sure.
I can write that article though, and I actually can have the potential to rank really well for that, and it might actually be harder for kind of a medium-sized affiliate or niche.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. So if I have a website on like baseball for kids, and I write an article on baseball training drills for kids, I mean, this whole website is about baseball for kids.
Exactly.
And so if a medium-sized site that, has a lot of page rank on baseball, but it's not baseball for kids, the niche site has a good chance of ranking higher. Yeah, because that's your thing. The whole website is dedicated to this. If I have, it can work both ways. You don't have the page rank, but you have a very specific whole website targeted to that thing. Well, I guess maybe the last thing that there are so many different things we can talk about, but kind of the overarching that I want to make sure we get across is when you're building an authority site, you are building a job for yourself. It's not a company. It could become a company, of course. I mean, there are a lot of authority websites that have become huge companies, but for a long time, you're building a job for yourself. You won't have enough money to hire a team of people to help you with the customer service and writing articles and everything. So it's you, and you've got to be there. You've got to show up for work every day. And that may not be your goal in starting the website. I am really grateful for the authority sites, Income School and Improve Photography, that I get to be involved with. They've been awesome. However, Ricky and I have been talking about this. We have no interest in starting new authority sites, like none. We're building passive income niche sites. That's right. Where we're seeing the biggest growth in our company. That's where we're seeing the quickest returns, the best promise. These niche sites are awesome.
These are the sites that give you the freedom to, there's the financial freedom, and then there's the freedom of your time. And here's some good examples here. KnifeUp.com, a website that Jim owns that he actually purchased, which leads me to one last point as well. Niche sites are more like a project than a job. Mm-hmm. Okay, you start one up, you put the content out there, you can continuously add more and more content, but in the end, it's more of a project, and they're really easy to buy and sell, and and
we've bought and sold them.
We've bought and sold websites.
Easy to do.
And here's a perfect example of one that Jim bought, made some improvements to it, and it brings in a continuous stream of income without having to actively maintain.
Yeah, this website was earning $1,000 a month when I bought it. There were some crazy mistakes being made on the website that I knew I could fix easily. I bought the website in 2014. I made those changes in a couple weeks. The changes were done, and it now earns almost $5,000 a month. And I have not even logged into this website, like not even logged into the back end in over 6 months. I have not added any articles in over a year and a half. I mean, it just sits there and I cash checks from it. That's so cool. Yeah. And we have one we would like to give you for free. This is soundproofexpert.com. It's tiny. I think it's going to earn $65 this month. Mm-hmm. It's very small. We just started up a little while ago. It only has 7 articles on there. It needs some work to really grow into something awesome. But it's really on a good trajectory, especially considering how little content is on there. We're giving it away. It's all set up, all the content. It's earning a tiny amount of income and has some traffic. All you have to do is go to incomeschool.com/newsletter to sign up for our newsletter, and then comment on this video. That's it. That's all you got to do, and you'll be entered anytime between now and December 1, 2017. One of you randomly chosen is going to win it for free. Pretty cool. It's a small website, but pretty cool to win a business. It's awesome. Thanks, everybody.
We'll see you. No cost, and you just get to run a website, and it's going to bring you in money.
Not
forever.
Bad.
So,
thanks, everybody. Bye.
See you guys.